We are making steak kebabs out on our Traeger grill. These are going to be tender, delicious, loaded with great flavor, and it's super easy. Hey, I'm Alexis. Welcome to my kitchen. I am super excited to show you these Traeger steak kebabs because they are one of my favorite meals to make in the summer. I'm going to talk about the cuts of beef that make great skewers and a super easy marinade that doesn't take a lot of time. And then we will assemble our kebabs. I'll show you the temp and the cook time that's ideal for your Traeger to use when we're making these steak kebabs, and then we will serve them up. So you are going to get to see a fantastic meal. Let's get started with our steak. Some good steak options for you when you head to the grocery store include a top sirloin, some New Yorks, a ribeye, or my favorite, a sirloin cap off. To prepare your steak for the marinade, you're gonna start by cutting it into about some 1 to 1.5 inch cubes. Now, I was curious about my actual portion size, so I decided to weigh some. You obviously don't have to do this, but I figured out with this size cut of meat, if I go about 5 pieces, it's nearly 7 ounces, which is pretty perfect for a single portion for a kebab. After you get your steak cut and ready to go, then you can move on to your marinade, and this one packs in a ton of flavor. Let's get going on our quick and easy marinade. We are gonna start with a 1/2 cup of soy sauce. That will splash. Okay, 1/2 cup of soy sauce. And that's part of the reason why this is a quick marinade. There's a lot of soy sauce. You can do low sodium soy sauce if you're gonna marinate for a longer time. Then we're gonna add a 1/4 cup of Worcestershire. I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. There's some soy sauce left over from my measuring cup in there. I promise there's nothing wrong with the oil. And then I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. My general rule of thumb for a marinade is half of my acid compared to my oil, kind of like a salad dressing. So 2 tablespoons of my vinegar. You can do any kind of vinegar you want. And then let's get into our dry ingredients. So I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. You could also do honey, agave, or you can just leave the sugar out, but I think it helps with the char. Then I'm gonna do a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of black pepper. You can do less if you want. You can also add some other spices to get more heat in here, like cayenne, but this is my basic go-to when I need a quick marinade that's gonna give me a lot of flavor. I always like to marinate any of my meat in a big zip top bag because you need less marinade to move it all around, and I can really get it in there into the meat. So I'm just gonna get my meat in there first and then pour the marinade over, close up the top, and we're gonna pop this in the refrigerator for about 2 hours. You can go up to 4. The steak has been sitting in the marinade for a little while, so we can start prepping our veggies and then put all these together. When you're making your steak kebab, pick whichever vegetables you love the most. I'm gonna do 2 with mushrooms and 2 with zucchini instead. All of my skewers are going to get red onion and red bell pepper. So we're just gonna cut these into the same size bite-sized pieces, and then I'm gonna drizzle them with some oil and season them with garlic, salt, and some pepper. For your supplies, you're going to need some good skewers. I like these longer stainless steel skewers when I'm making dinner for my family, but if we're having company over, I have 2 different bamboo skewer options that I really like. Just soak them in water first so that they don't burn, and then you're going to need a quality meat thermometer to help you check your steak as you're cooking. We are moving along nicely. The next step is going to be to assemble these skewers. I have my Traeger preheating to 425 degrees, so that's going to get hot while we get poking. All right, so this is the order that we're gonna go in. We're gonna start with a piece of steak, then I'm gonna do a mushroom, another piece of steak, then we'll do a slice of red onion, and then a bell pepper. Then we'll go back to the steak, and then you're just gonna repeat this process until your skewer is full or until you get as many pieces of steak that you want on your skewer. You're gonna repeat the process just like this with whatever other vegetables you use, if it's zucchini, pineapple, cherry tomatoes, whatever you put on it. It's go time. All of my skewers are ready to go, and my Traeger has reached its 425 degrees. It's been preheating like this for about 15 minutes with the lid closed. Now you can get your steak kebabs right on those grill grates and let them cook with the lid closed. All right, it is hot and bright out here, but our steak kebabs are on the Traeger directly on the grill grates. They're gonna go at 425 for about 14 minutes total. That's the time that I have found to be the best. We can start checking the temperature at about 10 to 12 minutes if we want to, but I'm looking for an internal temperature of 135 on our steak. Now, if you are going with thinner slices of meat, you can take a little time off. If you've got bigger pieces, then just add a couple minutes. Halfway through the cooking time, so about 7 minutes in, we are going to flip the skewers because I do want those char marks on both sides. All right, so we just flipped them, but it occurred to me that I forgot to mention the wood pellets. So since we're going hot and like super hot and pretty fast, I just have regular, like a blend of pellets. There's no reason to switch out and use a specific flavored wood because this isn't on there for long enough to really get much smoke flavor. It's been 14 minutes, so we're going to check the temperature. Like I said before, we're looking for a total temperature of 130 to 135 degrees maximum on the center of our steak pieces. So this is going to give us a warm pink center all the way through. We're going to get the skewers off and let them rest while we put together our side dishes and whatever else you want to serve with your great steak kebabs. This really has become one of my family's favorite summer recipes, especially for stuff like Father's Day. I like to serve it with an easy homemade rice pilaf. This is the best part. Now we get to cut into it and see exactly how this went, because the number one thing you need to know when you are cooking anything out on your Traeger is the temperature and the cook time. So down in the description below, I do also have links that'll take you to the recipe for the steak kebabs and another link specifically for the marinade. So you can snag those, you can print them, you can save them for later. And now we get to eat. All right, so the steak, it's cooked pretty good. We got a warm pink center, and now we're gonna give it a quick try. It's so good. Okay, this meal is so good. You are gonna want it for a holiday, a special occasion, having family over for dinner. It's so much fun and it's delicious. So the links for the recipe are down in the description below. I have down there the basic meat marinade and the temps and the times in that blog post down in the description for Traeger steak kebabs, along with a couple other things that'll help you out, like some Amazon links that'll take you straight over to those metal skewers or some bamboo ones if you need those as well. Lastly, I hope you subscribe. I hope you come back and watch more videos with me. I hope you chat me up in the comments. I love hearing from you because I know your time is so valuable and I just want to talk about food. I want you to spend time with me so we can make more great stuff together, and I will see you in the next video.